I'm Nick Altman, and this is my 15th year teaching radio and television at Huntington North High School. When I took this position, I was actually replacing the person who was my favorite teacher when I was in high school, teaching the same subject, in the same classrooms, and in the same desks. So when I was starting out, I had to think, what did I remember from those classes? To be honest, I didn't remember very many of the lessons that Mr. Walker had taught me. But what I did remember was two things. One, I remembered several of the names that were dropped in class of those alumni who had gone on to participate within the industry. If you're from central Indiana, around Indianapolis, you probably know the name Paul Poteet. Yeah, he went through the classes here too. Needless to say, I had big shoes to fill. But along with those names, I remembered the experiences that I had. So in an effort to try to create experiences for students, I reached out to a lot of those alumni. And I remember in particular reaching out to Steve Overmeyer, who's now a reporter and anchor at CBS 2 in New York City. He told me that he would love to come speak to my students, but he only gets to Huntington about once a year, and it's over the summer. So that didn't do me any good. But he followed up by saying, I tell you what, it'd be really good if you could get the students out here to New York City. Was this guy nuts? Me? Take a bunch of teenagers from small town Indiana to New York City, the Big Apple? For years I didn't think it was possible. Finally, 5 or 6 years into teaching, I had a really talented, responsible crop of students. And I handpicked about a dozen of them, and we went to New York City. That trip went well enough that we've gone back 3 more times. It probably should have been 4 times, but the pandemic in 2020 put a stop to it temporarily. We hope to get back to it. But each time that we've gone, the trip has been a little bit different, and I've made connections to more alumni out there, which has led to more experiences for students. The most recent trip in 2018, students were able to tour the CBS headquarters, sit in on a CBS newscast, sit in on the production of Good Morning America at the Times Square studios, tour the NBC studios at Rockefeller Center, and then sit in on Jimmy Fallon's monologue rehearsal for The Tonight Show. And those are experiences that I can easily tie to my curriculum. But the trip's about more than that. It's about providing students with experiences that they won't get in Huntington. It's about hailing cabs. It's about experiencing a much more diverse culture than you might find here in the Midwest. It's about going out to eat at a nice restaurant, which we usually build into the experience. It's not about just teaching the lessons that are in the curriculum. It's about providing experiences for students. After all, that's what I really remembered from my time in radio and television in high school myself. I didn't remember the lessons. Obviously, some of them soaked in, but it's more about the experiences that students have. That is what they will remember. So in this day and age, when it's easy to get bogged down in data points and curriculum, just remember, you're not teaching curriculum, we're teaching kids. Kids before curriculum. Provide them with experiences. And just like my experience with Mr. Walker from when I was a high school student, students might not remember the exact lessons that you taught, but they'll remember the experiences that they have with you, and that's what really is going to last. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week.